Think you are a biological error living on borrowed time in a system designed to delete you. This is not philosophy. This is arithmetic. 99.9% of everything that has ever drawn breath, pumped hemolymph, or split a cell on this planet is already gone. Not defeated. Not outcompete. Deleted. Purged from the source code of Earth's biological operating system like corrupted data. You were told evolution is a ladder. That strength endures. That fitness guarantees survival. The forensic data tells a different story. Earth has a hard-coded shelf life for almost every design it creates. A ceiling. A timer running in the background of every genome ever assembled. And when that timer reaches a specific number, a number almost no species has ever crossed, the deletion protocol activates. Not through disaster. Not through predators. Through something far more insidious. The code itself begins to fail. Biologists have a term for this. They call it genetic meltdown, the moment when a species' own DNA becomes so corrupted it can no longer execute the basic command of stay alive. The organism does not die from the outside. It dies from the inside. Letter by letter. Protein by protein. Until the blueprint forgets how to build the thing it was designed to create. But what is this number? What is the ceiling that forces a species to self-destruct even when there is no catastrophe, no asteroid, no ice age, no predator? 15 million years. That is the magic number. The threshold that 99% of all species fail to cross. And to understand why this number kills, you need to see what happens inside the code when the countdown hits 0. 15 million years. That is the ceiling. Not a theory. Not a projection. A statistical wall that the fossil record has documented across 3.7 billion years of biological experimentation. The average mammal species lasts just 1 million years. Birds fare slightly better. Invertebrates stretch longer. But almost nothing survives past the 15 million year mark. Your DNA is not a perfect blueprint. It is an operating system that degrades with every copy. A self-corrupting script that accumulates errors each time it replicates. Imagine running software that glitches slightly every time it boots. After 10,000 reboots, the bugs are noticeable. After 1 million, the program barely functions. After 15 million, the errors outnumber the features. The system crashes. This is not weakness. This is architecture. The genome was never designed for permanence. It was designed for iteration, endless prototypes, endless deletions, endless rewrites. The 15 million year ceiling is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. But numbers are abstract. To understand what deletion actually looks like, you need to witness it from the inside. 6,000 years after the Ice Age ended, a small population of woolly mammoths survived on Wrangell Island. They were not hunted. They had food. They had water. They had each other. And they still went extinct. Their hair turned translucent. Not white. Translucent. Their bodies stopped producing the pigment proteins that gave their coats density and insulation. They could no longer smell predators, the olfactory receptors degraded beyond function. Their genetic code had accumulated so many errors over millennia of isolation that their bodies simply stopped being built correctly. Imagine waking and your vision is clouded. Not from illness. From incompleteness. Your own DNA forgot the instructions for building functional eyes. You are not sick. You are not injured. You are simply unfinished. A rough draft that the system stopped editing. This is what the mammoths experienced. Not a dramatic end. A slow, silent unraveling of biological coherence. 6,000 years of watching their own bodies betray them, one broken protein at a time. Now multiply this tragedy by 5 billion. That is the estimated number of species Earth has erased since the first single-celled organism divided in a primordial ocean. 5 billion deletion events. 5 billion experiments deemed obsolete by a system that does not preserve, it iterates. Deep inside the dying mammoth's cells, the mechanism reveals itself. Picture a three-dimensional double helix, the architecture of inheritance, where base pairs flicker out like dying neon lights. Gaps appear in the structure. The glitch red of corrupted sequences spreads through the spiral like infection. This is genetic erosion made visible. A source code losing its letters until the commands become gibberish. This is the magic number in action. 15 million years is not a random limit. It is the statistical point where accumulated genetic errors become unsurvivable. The species does not die from disaster. It dies because its source code can no longer execute the command "stay alive." The genome does not fail from external pressure. It fails from internal entropy. A software program riddled with so many bugs it crashes the hardware. But genetic meltdown requires time. And on Earth, time is the one thing the system never gives you. Mother Nature is not a mother. She is a final boss running 7,000 local extinction tests every year. A quality assurance protocol with no loyalty to any design, no matter how elegant. In the last 15 million years, Earth has processed 100 billion local extinction events. Not species events. Each one a stress test. Most are failed silently. A population dwindles. A food source vanishes. A pathogen adapts faster than its host. The deletion happens without ceremony. When the tests are loud, they arrive at 50 times the speed of sound. Space debris screaming through the atmosphere at Mach 50. Impact. Reset. The sky burns. The oceans boil. 70% of all life erased in geological seconds. But most deletions are quiet. A species loses the ability to smell its environment. Then to see it. Then to navigate it. The code fails one protein at a time. No explosion. No drama. Just a slow fade to biological static. The crushing weight of 2000 BC. The moment the last mammoth heart stopped on Wrangell Island. Not from cold. Not from hunger. From a genome that had forgotten the meaning of survival. Homo sapiens has existed for 300,000 years. That is 0.3 million. The 15 million year ceiling is 50 times our current age. We are not even 2% into the countdown. The mammoths did not fail because the world changed. They failed because their code lost the meaning of how to survive in any world. And now the question we have been avoiding. Is our code losing meaning too? What if we have been thinking about extinction wrong? What if the 15 million year limit is not a flaw, but a feature? A garbage collection protocol. In computing, garbage collection is the process of clearing out old, broken code so the system does not crash from accumulated debris. Earth runs the same protocol. The mammoths were not victims. They were deprecated. Scheduled for deletion not because they were weak, but because their design had reached end of life. We assume we are different. We have medicine. Agriculture. Technology. We have decoded our own genome and begun editing it like software developers patching legacy code. But domestication is genetic pollution, a slow-motion deletion of wild source code. Every generation we drift further from the original architecture. Every convenience we engineer removes a survival function we no longer use. The most dangerous thing you can do is become too perfect for a world that refuses to stay the same. We are not escaping the system. We are accelerating our own obsolescence. Remember the mammoths on Wrangell Island. They did not die from the cold. They did not die from predators. They died because their code lost the meaning of how to survive. Their DNA forgot how to build functional proteins. Forgot how to smell. Forgot how to see clearly. 6,000 years of slow deletion. And here we are. 300,000 years in. 97% of our countdown still ahead of us. But are we already forgetting? The universe has created and deleted 5 billion species on this planet alone. Each one a masterpiece of adaptation. Each one erased without archive, without backup, without memorial. The system does not preserve its greatest works. It recycles them. If the universe is designed to delete every masterpiece it creates, why do we assume we are the one file it intends to save?